All right, welcome back. I got a kind of a funny story here. I'm working patrol, and we just inherited in our area a hilly part of the city, a lot of hills, residential. And so we got a call one night, a prowler there now. Usually it's a precursor to a burglar, or it could be a peeping Tom. So we kind of roll there in a hurry. We weren't the first car there. My partner was driving, I was a passenger. And we roll in there, and there's already a unit pulled in. So we come in, and we park on the other side of the street, and they're already running to the backyard. We run to the backyard. We're looking around. The guy's gone. Okay, they're talking to the victim. We're just standing outside. No supervisors there yet. I don't know if he ultimately responded. But anyway, so we're standing there talking. And our department, most big departments, although ours was the worst, very anal about car damage. Well, I'll tell you, you hit a bumper, and they go crazy. I don't know why. When you're driving cars, you're driving 60 miles a day to hot calls and pursuits and stuff, and they're worried about a dented fender, they go crazy. Okay, I don't understand. Anyway, so based on their analness about vehicle damage, okay, one of the squad cars is sitting on the hill. Now they teach you, and you should know this too. When you park on a hill, you always turn the wheels into the curb. You're uphill, you turn it to the left so the wheel's against the curb. So if your parking brake fails, it hits the curve and it stops it. Downhill, you turn it towards the curb. So if your brake fails, you'd go into the curb and you stop your car. Okay, well, we're taught that. We do it all the time. If there's no curbs, you still do it. Here's the story. No curbs. This is all dirt, a few sidewalks and houses. So one of the police cars, come to the picture, one of the police cars is sitting on the hill. We're over here. Cars parked everywhere. We're walking out from between the houses, and we hear this noise. I can't duplicate the noise, but it's a metal to metal noise, like, and the police car, we drove cars that had 90,000 miles on them. Now, you have cars at home, your own personal cars, you get close to 100,000 miles, you're looking to buy a new car or a motor. Well, here, they're going to drive until they basically, like the old Blues Brothers movie with John Belushi, they're going to drive that car until everything falls off. Okay, that's what they do. They don't want to buy cars, they're cheap. Okay, so anyway, so hear that metal sound, and that black and white, I'll do it this way so I can do more. It goes like this. And it crashes into some poor citizen's private car facing south. So here's the citizen's car. I can't do that. It goes like this. And of course the driver is a policeman going, oh my gosh, so we're looking. Of course, people already been out because the cops are here, and they see that, and of course they look at us because we damaged their car, this guy's car. So of course people run into the house. They get the guy out of the house. He's it's late at night, 11 o'clock. He's probably in bed. He comes out to see this mess. A police car back in, slammed into his car. Okay, kind of a new car, his car. So he's all, oh my God, that's okay, it's okay, relax, we'll take care of it. Okay. So now we have to call a supervisor. So here comes the supervisor. And he's looking at this and he goes, first question, remember they're anal about this, is did you set the parking brake? And he said, yes I did. I turned the wheels corner, but there's no curve. Are you sure you set the parking brake? And put it in park. Yes I did, Sarge. All right, well, this is a traffic problem, so I have to call a traffic unit because it's involved with a city police car against civilians, and you have to have an independent traffic unit to do this, so that way, because the officers that drove the car can't write the accident report. It's conflict of interest because they'll write it to benefit themselves. That's why they do this. So we wait half an hour. Here comes the traffic officers. Got patches, they're traffic guys. So they pull up, and of course their traffic supervisor shows up. Okay, so they're standing there, and of course I'm just standing there. I'm not involved, but I'm just watching what's happening here. So they go up to these two officers, the traffic officers, and go, did you set the parking brake? Did you set it in park? Yes, we did. And they always look at fellow officers with skepticism. Skepticism? Is that a right word? Anyway. Because obviously officers want to lie because they're involved in this accident. If it's the officer's fault, they didn't put it in park, they're going to be disciplined with a day off without pay, and the city, of course, has to pay for the other guy's car no matter what. I mean, that's just the way it is. So they're like, oh yeah, all right, whatever, okay. So the traffic sergeant looks at the other sergeant and says, yeah, we hear this all the time. These guys say they put the parking brake on and all that, and they blame the car. It's never the car. And then our supervisor, who's a patrol supervisor, goes, well, you might want to check it. Oh, we'll check it. He kind of blew them off because these guys are all a little group of traffic guys. They're experts, okay? So we're going to move the car because this poor guy wants to assess his damage, so they're going to move the black and white, okay? So the officer that's driving it said, we'll move it. And of course, the traffic guys, oh, no, we're the experts. We'll move the car, okay? Now you can see what's coming here. Something's going to happen. I'll tell the story because nothing happens, okay? So they drive the police car out, up where it was, okay? Put it in park, whatever they did. They walk down. They're walking like this, like this is how it's done. In other words, they're basically with their body language showing us that these officers didn't put the parking brake on or in park. So as he's walking back, Guess what we heard? The metal sound again. Here it comes. Whoom! And not only did it miss the original car, it hit another car. Because remember, when you turn the wheels are not going to follow the same arc because the other guy parked. It hit probably a different turn on the wheel, so it hit the guy in front of him. And of course, that guy's standing out there because he's watching his neighbor get creamed by a police car. He's looking at his car. And of course, he's going crazy. Oh my God, oh my God. They're all going, look, he did my car. And now they're all pointing at each other. They're pointing it out. And I'm just standing there going, I'm covering my mouth. This is hilarious. And of course, our patrol sergeant goes to the traffic officer and says, did you put it in park and did you set the brake? And he goes, yeah, we did. He goes, yeah, whatever. And he walks away. And we're all just laughing. Now we're really laughing. Now we're laughing at them. And they're looking at their sergeant. He's just looking at our sergeant. It's like a soap opera. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3. I'm looking around going, this is crazy. So now they finally believed everybody, and they called a tow truck to pick up this police car. Okay, and now you have to have another set of officers come out. Can you imagine your resources? You people pay taxes. You've got 2 officers and a sergeant for the original call. You got 2 of us waiting around. Then you have 2 more officers for traffic and a sergeant, another sergeant, and they have to call another unit because they can't take their own accidents. Okay. So you got 1 accident from patrol, 1 accident from the traffic officers, and then this 3rd unit has to come and take the reports on every. It's a mess. Okay, all these moving parts. Okay, I got my hands. I'm Latino. I like to do all kinds. Anyway, so the bottom line is, all the supervisors got names. Oh, of course, another supervisor has to come out. Another supervisor has to come out because he has to supervise other things, like these poor citizens that were sitting there watching TV at 11 o'clock at night, and these police officers just destroyed their cars. Okay, without So we found out, because this is obviously our division, it took like 2 months later, 3 months before they resolved all this, and the poor guys got mashed cars. Well, the sergeant was there, came to roll call, and he says, the guys that were involved in that accident the other night, you want to stick around after roll call? Because everybody wanted to hear it. No, we'll all stay here. Okay, fine. Well, here's what happened. The city went out with their checkbooks, okay, and they paid these people. One, they bought the car from them, gave him a check for the car. The other one was kind of a new car. He just wanted the door and the thing fixed. So they took care of them. They used your tax dollars to take care of these people. Okay? The car was checked out by an independent mechanic, and he came back and said that the parking brake and the parking on your park were both deficient. It's a bad car. So that takes all the officers off the hook because they did everything correct. So they had no control over a mechanical failure. They did though wrap the traffic officers because they should have known that this vehicle had a problem, and instead of having an opinion about thinking the officers lied about their parking and parking brake, they should have not moved that car and got a tow truck. So they got a little slap for their arrogance because they didn't believe their fellow officers. That happens a lot. That happens a lot when you have some expertise officers like traffic guys that don't believe the uniform guys because they're always like advocates. Well, why are you advocates? We're all just trying to make best here. But anyway, so they got wrapped a little bit for doing that. And of course, the supervisor also got wrapped because he should have told them, don't move that car. So that's that's a story. You won't see this on any of the newspapers. This is just stuff that happens behind the scenes. And a lot of my videos, RealCopStoriesVideos.com is got a lot of these. I'm gonna have a lot more in the future about things that happen behind the scenes that you'll never hear about, never see. And I hope you enjoy them. This was pretty good. So I feel sorry for those citizens, but they got a check from the city and they made restitution. So that's pretty good. So I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.